Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh and very good morning. Uh, for current time untuk kelas kita petang So very good afternoon to all student Vita. Welcome back to your term. After we have already a long uh, break. So I would like to wish Ramadan Karim for Muslim. So hopefully semua orang puasa dia tak puasa. Okay, so kita jumpa lagi untuk sesi kali ini with the new subject which is kita dah jumpa last semester dan semester ni I am a what we call co-lecture for this subject. Okay, the first and the main lecture for this subject Linux is Dr. Wahidah, KTS Dr. Wahidah. So you must know I am only the co-lecture. All the lab will be handled by Dr. Wahidah. Right, so let's go to the chapter 1. Okay, we will meet online this week and next week. So maybe for next week also I will share the video so all can get the knowledge and also get the video lecture for chapter 1 and chapter 2. Right, chapter 1 we will cover the introduction for this subject that we will discuss about the development history, characteristics, versions and application of Linux. So this is the agenda. We will cover 5 agenda. Ada 5 agenda yang kita akan cover untuk chapter ni. Start from the development until the future trend and development. Okay. So now let's go to the first subtopic, development of history of Linux. So this is a long word. So basically Linux adalah open source. Okay. Which is operating system that have a kernel and become one of the most influential technologies in the modern computing. Ini sangat-sangat penting lah. Because from this Linux, development of application Android until now adalah kerana adanya Linux. Okay. So the operating system created by 1969 at AT&T Bell Labs. So over the years, Unix system became widely and used by the academic and enterprise environment, but they are proprietary nature limited accessible. So to address this issue, ada seorang developer and researcher Andrew S. Tenenbaum developed the Minix, which is a small Unix-like system for educational purpose. However, Minix has restriction and prevented full customization, leading the birth of Linux. So daripada Unix system lahirnya anak dia Minix, kemudian sebabkan there's a lot of restriction lahirlah Linux. Okay, tu dia punya rentetan cerita lah. So at 1991, Linus Torvalds, Linus Torvalds finished the computer science student as a student announced that development of Linux kernel as a personal project with the contribution for the developers worldwide. Linux quickly evolved into the stable rich feature system by leverage of GNU, which is a general public license (GPL). Linux fostered the global source community that continue to drive its own innovations. So today, Linux is dominant force computing, shaping and also for the infrastructure, enterprise and mobile open system like Android. Sehinggalah hari ini ada banyak aplikasi-aplikasi yang back-end dia adalah Linux. Okay. So development history of Linux for simplify untuk cerita dia. First early development 1990, 1960, and then ada burst of Linux 1991, and then modernization and enterprise 2006 until present. Okay, this is the development of the Linux. Okay, start the Unix until at the end there are other Android, Linux based Android, until we have a lot of application right now today. So what is the characteristics of Linux? open source nature, stability and security. So we will discuss this item. Open source ni is open source meaning that the code is freely available for everyone to view, to modify and distribute. So this characteristic provide a several benefit. First, transparency. So bila code tu freely use, kita boleh guna, kita boleh modify, kita boleh sebarkan. Okay, ada beberapa faedah dia. Yang pertama sekali adalah transparency, which is the developer can inspect the code that ensure there is no hidden vulnerabilities on the backdoor. So kalau kita dapat kita tengok Linux punya programming, developer can check whether there is the backdoor command or not. Customization. So user and organization can modify the system accordingly to their needs. So whether for their personal use, enterprise or embedded system. Next is community-driven development. So thousands of developers worldwide contribute to Linux, leading to the continuous improvement and innovation. So beribu-ribu, okay, a lot of researcher and also the developer that contribute to the Linux. So kalau ada masalah, kadang kita boleh check dekat Google kan. So ada orang share how to solve this problem. And cost effectiveness, unlike the proprietary OS, Linux is free to use. So dia akan jimat lah in terms of cost. Stability and reliability. So Linux is known as a robustness ability to run the extended period without crashing and requiring the frequent boot. So the key aspect why the Linux is stable, first is efficient memory management, which is the Linux optimize the RAM usage, prevent the system slowdown. Okay, basically kalau kita guna, contoh kita buka kita punya Windows sometimes kita guna CMD, betul tak? Kita guna command. Kita contoh paling mudah, a basic example. And then kita buka CMD, kita nak clear kita punya cache. Mana lagi mudah, sama ada kita buka guna GUI kat Windows atau kita guna CMD. Okay, kalau saya rasa lah, and I think everyone can try. CMD lagi mudah lah. Kita run dia punya command and then clear the cache or apa-apa saja kita nak buat. Right? Compare tu kita guna Windows, kita kena klik, tunggu dia proses. Okay, maybe kalau 5 minit dekat CMD mungkin 5 saat. Okay, tu sebabnya kalau kenapa kita guna Linux. And then second is process management. The system handle multitasking efficient and to ensure the smooth performance. Then dia sangat efficient. Uptime performance. Many Linux server run continuously for months or even years without needing a reboot. And also support for the oldest hardware. So unlike the modern Windows version require the high-end specification, but Linux can run to the older machine with the minimal resources. Okay, so dia punya reason kenapa dia stable. Security. So security is the core in the Linux, making its preferred choice for the servers, cloud computing and mission critical system. Sekarang kita guna Linux ni, kebanyakannya almost the industry use the Linux lah because very secure. Okay, so the key security for the Linux is user privilege and permission, which is the Linux enforce strict user rules, reduce the risk of unauthorized access. So kalau kita tengok nanti dekat lab kita boleh check yang mana only the privilege and the permission users can enter the environment. Kalau tak boleh so very strict lah kat sini Built in the firewall and security tools. Dia ada firewall and security tools like IP table and Cell Linux enhanced for the system protection. And then frequent update patching. So Linux community actively detect the vulnerables and to ensure the rapid security update. And low risk and of the malware virus. So due to the permission of base execution and the strong command, so Linux far less prone malware compare other OS. Okay, version of Linux. So there are two versions that we will discuss here, kernel version and distribution. Okay, so what is kernel? Kernel is core component in the Linux OS, which is the bridge between the hardware and software, manage the system resources efficiently, and also without the kernel application, the system is not able to interact with the hardware components like a CPU, memory, storage, or the network devices. So the function of Linux kernel as below. So kita kena faham that the Linux have their own brain. which is the kernel. Kernel is the brain of the Linux, so everything is running on the kernel. It's not everything lah. Most of the things run on the kernel. So process of management is what is the function of Linux is process management, where the management multiple applications can run at the same time and allocate the CPU time to process and handle the process creation, execution, and termination. Second is memory management. It will allocate the RAM of to applications, ensure that efficient memory usage to avoid the crashes, and also have their own virtual memory to which is a swap space when the RAM is full. Dia ada satu teknik to make sure the RAM is not when the RAM is full use, so it will have the virtual memory. Next, have the Linux have device management, so it will control all the hardware components through the device drivers and support the wide range of uh, devices usage. And then next, we have also the file system management. So file system management is it will organize and manage the data storage and allow the user to read, write, and modify the files. And next, we have the security and access control, which is a managed user permission to prevent the unauthorized access and implement the security measures like firewall and Linux and etc. So the big picture for the Linux, so CPU will connect to the kernel and also the application. So the hardware and the software. So kernel is the bridge. Okay. Types of Linux kernel. So there are different style of the kernel. Okay. And its advantage. So for example, monolithic kernel that used in Linux, the entire OS run inside the kernel space, and the advantage of the monolithic is faster performance, less flash, and harder to modify. But the disadvantage is harder to modify. Second, microkernel, which is the QNX or Minix, only essential for the kernel space. Advantage more secure and stable, but disadvantage slightly slower due to the extra communication layer. Next, hybrid kernel used in Windows and Mac OS, mixed monolithic and microkernel architecture. Advantage balanced performance and security, but more complex design. Okay. So how the Linux kernel works? Booting process, running application, hardware communication, and managing the security. So this is the list of version Linux until now. March 2024 have 6.8 version, but I think there is a new version. Okay, when we run the lab later, so we can see the new version of the kernel. Okay, Linux distribution version. So each Linux distribution has their own versioning system that differ from the Linux kernel version. While all the distros use the kernel Linux kernel, they package it into the different software, desktop environment, and system utilities, making them as a unique. So distribution version dia first kali kita ada Ubuntu, which is the Debian base. uh, Ubuntu is one of the most popular and friendly user friendly Linux distribution based on the Debian. So it's maintained the Canonical Ltd and offer the LTS long-term support and interim release. So this is Ubuntu. So saya rasa kita pernah apply, okay? You all pernah main tak dengan Ubuntu sebelum ni kan? Ataupun nanti kita akan run dekat storage punya subject. Fedora, okay, Fedora. So this semester kita akan run Fedora, which is the Red Hat base. So Red Hat, semua orang ada installation of Red Hat kan hari tu kan? They install. So Fedora is a cutting edge community Linux distribution sponsored by Red Hat, IBM. So it focuses on new technology, serve the testing ground for the Red Hat enterprise Linux. So Fedora, maybe now more than until April 2024, is Fedora 40. But I think now 36 already a new Fedora version release. And next, CentOS, which is a CentOS Stream. Now it's CentOS Stream. Okay, CentOS is Community Enterprise OS, which is a free enterprise grade Linux distro derived by the Red Hat. However, CentOS 8 was discontinued in 2021 and CentOS Stream is replaced. So now dia adalah CentOS Stream. Okay. And last we have the Debian, which is the come from the Ubuntu. So Debian is the oldest and the most Linux distribution. So it serves as the base for many distros, including the Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and Kali Linux. So a lot of version in the Linux from the free until enterprise, which is the Red Hat is the open source, but Red Hat have their own support team. Okay, if I ask all of you, uh, if you are the manager of the company, so are you allowed your developer use the uh, paid, uh, I mean the pay services of the Linux? I mean the server. Okay, imagine that you have your company have a server, and do you want to your developer use the enterprise Linux, which is a have their own fee by year, or you want ask your developer to use the free version? Okay, there are two answer here. First, uh, if your answer is yes, you allow your developer to use the 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 the, the Linux that have the monthly or yearly payment. So the reason is you want your company run the business smoothly, because uh, apa yang kita bayar, the service that we got from the another third party is we support everything in our company, in your company. But if you ask your developer use the free version, so beware, because kalau benda tu ada masalah, okay, ada bug, dan developer perlukan masa yang lama, because if free you must bergantung kepada community service, community punya developer. So actually risiko dekat situ. So dia tu answer lah. Kalau kata ya, okay, as long as boleh bayar dan dia akan lancarkan bisnes. Kalau kata tidak, make sure developer pandai. Ini jawapan ni daripada trainer OpenStack. Dia sebut ada dua jawapan yang sepatutnya kena balance, timbang tara. Okay. Next, application of Linux. So application of Linux, Linux servers, service as a robust foundation, serve as a robust foundation for the various server application, particularly in the web and database servers. So dia Linux ni memang kita akan guna lah, okay, dalam server application. For example, web server. So Linux stable flexibility make the either platform for hosting the web server and widely adopt as a LAMP stack. So it LAMP stack is stand for the Linux OS, Apache HTTP, MySQL Relation Database Management, and PHP is programming language. So this combination provides a powerful environment for developing the dynamic website application. Another notable web server is Cherokee, which is the high performance and user-friendly graphical admin interface, and Cherokee ni support various modern web technologies and protocol, making it versatile choice and web hosting. Yang kedua, database server. So Linux architecture is well suited for the database servers, which is offer the traditional and NoSQL option. An example of high performance in memory computing platform is Tarantul, which is combined memory database with the Lua application server, and Tarantul maintain the data memory rapid access while ensuring the persistence through the write, heap logging, and snapshotting. Okay, MySQL. So MySQL is the database server. Of course, ada MySQL. So it is speed, reliability, making a popular choice for the web application and online transaction processing OLTP system. Features: storage engine, replications, community enterprise edition. Okay, and also we have the Postgre SQL, which is a Postgre SQL is emphasized standard compliance and extensibility, often chosen as complex application required by the data types and integrity. So the features of the PostgreSQL is ACID compliance, extensibility, and also the advanced query optimization. Desktop system. Just now we discussed about the server. So this is the desktop system. So Linux widely used as the desktop system due to the flexibility, security, and support for the variety application. Below is the key productivity tools. Dalam apa desktop system ada productivity tools LibreOffice EMP, which is the open source of LibreOffice, is suited for the server and alternative to the Microsoft. And also the GIMP, GNU, which is the image manipulating the program, which is support the photo retouch, image editing, okay, and also format of JPNG, JPEG, PNG, TIFF, PSD, and SVG. And multimedia entertainment for desktop system have their own VLC media, and also the Kodi. Kodi is a media center application for home theater setup, which is can stream the movie, music, YouTube, Netflix, and etc. Okay, what is the future of the Linux cloud? So Linux is continue has their own dominant in cloud virtualization, cloud computing, so dominance in the infrastructure. So right now we are already the Linux in the AWS, Google Cloud, and Microsoft Azure use the Linux-based server. Linux-based container orchestration tools like Kubernetes, Docker that have become a standard managing cloud application, and grown serverless computing. So Linux supports serverless architecture, which is the AWS Lambda, Google Cloud function that allow the developer to run application without manage the server. Okay, open source framework like OpenFaaS, Kubeless provide the serverless solution based on Linux. Next, virtualization. So growth of Linux, open source virtualization technology, which is the kernel-based virtualization machine, and Xen continue to replace the proprietary solution like a VMware. So QEMU, which is a quick emulator, is widely run in the VM of Linux. And then the rise of containerization, which is the traditional VM are replaced by the container that run isolated application on Linux. So tools like Docker, Podman, also the Linux container is lightweight virtualization. And next, hybrid and multi-cloud environment. So Linux crucial for managing the hybrid cloud, which is a mix of private, the public cloud, and multi-cloud. We use the multiple cloud provider technology like Red Hat OpenShift and SourceTracer provide a community-based cloud management. So future trend, maybe we can use a lot the IoT device because a lot of Linux, or maybe we can run the AI and edge computing of IoT devices and increase the security measure for the IoT. Next, we can adopt to the IPv6 for IoT network, growth of lightweight IoT protocol, and also integrate with the 5G and LP1, okay, which is low power wide area network. So that's all for the basic introduction of the subject. Okay, hopefully after you watch this video, you can answer. There are 5 question quizzes that I already uploaded into the Ulearn. So just answer at least. Okay, hopefully you can 3 of the question must correct. So 3 questions correct is considered you attend the lecture. Okay, that's all. Selamat berhari raya. Maaf lahir dan batin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.